Have you ever wondered why modern relationships seem so complicated and challenging? It seems like navigating the path of love and companionship has become a maze, filled with more confusion, dissatisfaction, and struggles than ever before. The era of simple, straightforward courtship appears to be a thing of the past, replaced with a labyrinth of unspoken rules, mixed signals, and daunting expectations. In the grand tapestry of human interaction, relationships have always been complex. But in today's world, they seem to have taken a turn for the perplexing. With every passing day, the challenges seem to multiply, the questions become more difficult to answer, and the satisfaction we once found in companionship seems to dwindle. It's a conundrum that leaves many people puzzled and disheartened. But why is this happening? How did we go from the simplicity of yesteryears to this complex state of affairs? Let's examine how we've arrived at this complex state of affairs. Once upon a time, relationships were about genuine connection and understanding. Imagine a time when love was uncomplicated. A time when relationships were built on shared experiences, heart-to-heart conversations, and the simple joy of being in each other's presence. A time when love letters were penned with care, each word carrying the weight of unspoken emotions. A time when a single photograph held 1,000 memories. This was the golden age of love. In this era, love was not a game of likes, comments, or followers. It was about two people, their feelings, and their journey together. A journey filled with laughter, tears, joy, and pain, but above all, authenticity. Love was not a spectacle, but a private bond, cherished and nurtured away from the public eye. The lovers of yesteryears didn't need the validation of 1,000 strangers. They sought validation from each other, in the quiet whispers of the night, in the shared smiles over a cup of coffee, in the comforting silence of a shared sunset. In the golden age of love, relationships were not built on a foundation of filters and captions. They were built on mutual respect, understanding, and acceptance. Lovers accepted each other, flaws and all, without the pressure of conforming to an unrealistic standard of perfection. This was a time when love was not about finding the perfect partner, but about growing together, learning from each other, and becoming better versions of oneself. It was about patience and perseverance, about sticking together through thick and thin, about celebrating the good times and weathering the stormy ones. Yes, love was not always easy, even in the golden age. There were challenges, misunderstandings, and heartbreaks, but these were not amplified by the relentless glare of social media. They were dealt with, learned from, and eventually, they led to stronger bonds and deeper connections. But times have changed, and so have relationships. Enter social media, a tool that connects us but also distorts our perception of love. This double-edged sword known as social media has undeniably transformed our lives in many ways. But when it comes to relationships, the impact is not always for the better. In the digital age, we've traded intimate face-to-face interactions for quick text messages and emoji-filled captions. We've swapped deep, meaningful conversations for fleeting, superficial chats. And in doing so, we've lost some of the authenticity that once defined our relationships. Social media platforms have become the new matchmakers, but they're also the new deal breakers. They've given us a window into each other's lives like never before, enabling us to scrutinize every detail, every post, and every like. But this constant surveillance fosters unrealistic expectations and fuels comparison. We start to measure our relationships against the seemingly perfect ones we see on our screens, forgetting that these digital portrayals are often carefully curated and far from the real story. The like counts, the comments, the retweets, they've become the new currency of validation. But in this race for approval, we often lose sight of what truly matters: genuine connection, understanding, and love. The fear of not measuring up, of not being liked enough, can lead to self-doubt and insecurity, making many hesitant to pursue or even stay in relationships. Moreover, social media bombards us with countless portrayals of what love should look like. It dictates how we should feel, how we should act, and even how we should express our love. But love is not one size fits all. It's personal, it's unique, and it's subjective. It can't be defined by a trending hashtag or a viral post. And yet, amidst this digital chaos, there's a silver lining. Social media, when used mindfully, can also help us connect, communicate, and even find love in unexpected places. It's about striking a balance, about using these platforms as tools rather than letting them dictate our lives and our relationships. In the world of social media, reality often gets lost in the noise. But remember, real love isn't about the perfect Instagram post or the most retweets. It's about authenticity, understanding, and connection. We've created a picture-perfect world online, but can we live up to it in reality? That's the question we're grappling with in today's digital age. We've become artists of our own lives, curating our online portrayals to depict a seemingly flawless existence. But what's the impact on our relationships? In the vast ocean of social media, we're constantly bombarded with snapshots of perfect relationships. Candlelit dinners, surprise proposals, exotic vacations, you name it. But these are merely highlights, fragments of a much larger, complex narrative. They don't show the disagreements, the compromises, the sacrifices. They don't show the real work that goes into building and sustaining a relationship. So, we start to set standards based on these curated portrayals. We develop a checklist of must-haves for our potential partners. They must be attractive, successful, adventurous, romantic, and so on. But are these standards realistic? Are they attainable? Or are they just setting us up for disappointment? The truth is, these unrealistic expectations can create a disconnect between us and our partners. We start to wonder, why isn't my relationship like that? Why isn't my partner more like that? And we end up feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled. We feel like we're missing out, like we're settling for less. That's the trap. But here's the thing. Relationships aren't meant to be perfect. They're messy, they're challenging, they're full of ups and downs. And that's what makes them real. That's what makes them worthwhile. It's important to remember that the people we see online are just like us. They have their own struggles, their own insecurities. They're not perfect, and neither are their relationships. They're just better at hiding their flaws, at showcasing their best moments. So, let's not fall into the unrealistic standards trap. Let's not let these curated portrayals dictate our expectations, our happiness. Let's focus on building genuine connections, on nurturing our relationships, on being the best partners we can be. It's time to question whether these standards are helping or hindering us. Are we setting ourselves up for success, or are we setting ourselves up for disappointment? Only we can answer that question, and only we can break free from the unrealistic standards trap. Strong relationships aren't built on perfection, they're built on effort, compromise, and growth. A sentiment that resonates deeply, especially in today's society where the quest for the perfect partner is often glorified. Yet the truth is, there's no such thing as perfection. What truly matters is the willingness to work on oneself and on the relationship. Accountability is a cornerstone of any meaningful connection. It means owning up to our actions, acknowledging our flaws, and taking active steps to improve. It's about being responsible not just for ourselves, but also for the impact we have on our partners. Accountability fosters trust and deepens emotional bonds, forming the bedrock of a strong relationship. Yet, accountability alone isn't enough. Sacrifice plays an equally crucial role. Not the kind of sacrifice that leaves you empty, but the kind that shows you care about your partner's happiness as much as your own. It's about making compromises big and small to ensure the relationship thrives. This journey of self-reflection, accountability, and sacrifice is not always easy. It requires effort, resilience, and a whole lot of patience. But it's this very journey that leads to stronger, deeper connections. And let's not forget, growth is a continuous process. It's about bettering ourselves each day, learning from our mistakes, and striving to be the best partner we can be. After all, to love and to be loved, we must first be willing to grow. Despite the challenges, genuine connections are still possible. In the midst of the noise and distractions of the modern world, there's a beacon of hope. It's a simple yet profound truth that love, real love, still exists. It's not a myth or a fleeting illusion, but a tangible reality that we can all experience. This love is not found in the double taps on a picture or the number of followers one has. It's not about the perfect image or the most glamorous lifestyle. It's about authenticity, about being true to who you are and accepting others for who they are. It's about understanding that love is not a competition, but a journey of mutual growth. It's about realizing that the best relationships are not those that are free from struggles, but those where both individuals are committed to overcoming those struggles together. It's about learning to communicate, to listen, to compromise, and most importantly, to grow. This is not to say that finding love in the modern age is easy. It requires effort, patience, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. But when you focus on self-growth and authenticity, when you silence the external noise and listen to your own voice, you'll find that love is not only possible, but it's beautiful, rewarding, and worth every bit of the struggle. In the end, real love is about authenticity, understanding, and mutual growth.